How hard can you go when the beat drop?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get the second map underway. NIP taking on Ence. Map number one, I have to say, was a very one-sided affair for the ninjas in pajamas, and we've got to see a big step up from Ence if they want to survive in this tournament.
Absolutely. And I think we should see that step up on train, to be honest, Dinko. I know that Overpass wasn't what Ence fans wanted, but we saw some good things. X7 was having some good rounds. Alu was having a good game as well. And I was just looking up Alu's stats on train, Dinko, because I know he loves this map. In 2020, Alu has a 1.31 rating on train. That's pretty damn good. He has been really good on this map. So that is definitely a promising sign if you're an Ence fan.
Yeah, and Alu was playing pretty okay over on Overpass. He had a couple of moments. He definitely did. He stepped up with that AWP a few times. He had some deagle kills coming through. So it's not like it's all bad for Ence. They have at least a couple of individuals showing up. But a big problem, I feel, for this team is the drop-off of Sergey. He was such an influential player for this team for such a long time. He was one of the breakout rookies coming into last year or the year before. And so it's so worrying to see him drop off this much, right? He's just not really hitting the numbers at all.
Yeah, he has not been one of the star players on this team, it feels like. He's not been able to live up to that on this iteration of the Ence lineup. I don't know if it's something to do with Alexi B leaving, because it feels like that's when he dropped off. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's just not as comfortable. But I'd love to see more from Sergey as we get into train. This is Ence's home map. This is the one they have always seemed to be able to win. Let's see if they can beat Nip on this map.
Yeah, this is the best win percentage, 85.7% win rate on train. Not a bad map at all for the Ence roster. And of all their last 5 matches, which have been losses, they have taken a map, at least. So they're not a team that will go down without a bit of a fight, at least. And of course, you are in Group D, the elimination game. So a lot on the line here for Ence. You will not be seeing them come in and just fizzle out in this second one either. But you did highlight the fact that NIP can certainly compete here on this map. NIP are not such a bad team on train either. Another quick play coming through from Ence in towards the lower bomb site. X7 rattling the shots towards Rez. He's opened up the round for Ence. They've got the man advantage.
Hampus holding from this far back position. Ence have a couple of players pushing up. And Twist has come into play, as has Hampus. Almost the chance for the second. X7 low on health, but the kills keep on coming. NIP just win the retake. Straight up, they win every fight, it feels like. Oh man, Ence got that bomb down. They tried to push forwards, but NIP win those early duels, and that's it. It's just the individual skill that's working out for NIP right now.
Yeah, this is pretty nuts how Ence have had so many advantages, and I think this was definitely something we talked about over at Overpass that was quite evident. Ence, when they had those advantages, it wasn't even enough to make us feel confident for them in the round. They were so good at just losing the rounds after losing that opening kill, or getting the opening kill, should I say. And that's not great. If you're Ence, you want to be capitalizing off of every opportunity given to you, and they're off to a pretty bad start at the moment. Sunny on the hero AK-47. They've actually saved a good bit of cash over, particularly on Alu. Obviously, wanting to get that AWP out as early as possible. The Ence, their chances in this round, I'm going to say they're pretty slim.
Ooh, good bit of damage onto Hampus. That's always the risk you run when you jiggle peek that angle. You can take some shots through the wall. Normally, you don't take quite that much damage, though. Hampus down to 36 health will now be calling for assistance. I like we've got some Augs in play from Nip as well. Those are really good on this map specifically, but Hampus doesn't need no Aug. He's got the MP9 and the P250. Easy shutdown for NIP. Ence really not getting much of anything in that one, even though Hampus was low on health. Yeah. He made that look pretty easy.
I just want to point out a little statistic here for you guys at home, just to really highlight how poor the results have been for Ence for a very long time and how worrying it is. when you take a look at this roster overall, the only player who's actively playing on Ence, who has over a 1.0 rating on HLTV, is Alu at a 1.10. The rest of the team are below 1.0. Apart from X7, who doesn't even play for Ence on a regular basis. So while X7 getting one kill here for Rez, a couple of kills for NIP have come through. Now it's Alu and X7 trying their best to pull this one off. NIP hold the man advantage. And this is a desperately needed round for Ence. And Alu trying his best. The headshot up towards North, looking for the follow-up, but it's Plopsky that has taken him down. Now it is just X7. A 1 versus 2. Let's go walk through the train yard alone. One bullet would be enough, and Hampus will get it done. 3-0 for NIP. A fantastic start into this, and Ence, they lose the first gun round.
Yeah, Ence trying up the pace in one of the first gun rounds. I don't mind the decision to try and go for a faster push into the A site, but NIP have shown that they are capable of locking it down. And this is where we see that double AWP setup come through for NIP. Twist was always historically someone who loves to play on the AWP. He's not the primary AWPer anymore on most maps on this team, but he's certainly capable with the weapon, and he's already proved it with that first kill.
Well, Plopsky looking through the smoke. X7, he will take down Twist. And that is a 4v4. Ence have a chance here. Albeit small, but still a chance. Nonetheless, to potentially pull off the round. X7 has gone off. The Hampus up on top, catching out Sergey. Sunny, he needs to display some skills on this P250. And he is walking past that E-box. Alu. Walking to the blue train. Plopsky taking one. Rez following up. And Alu trying his best just to nip at the heels. He's got an AWP in his hands, and this is a deadly weapon. But Nok has caught him from behind. 4-0 for NIP. Money is back in the bank for Ence. They can get that AWP out again in the hands of Alu. They can get the AK-47s out for the rest. But at this point, they need to just get around under their belt. I feel like if they let NIP build up a heap of momentum on the CT side, it's going to be incredibly difficult to get back into things. Not just physically, but also mentally. If you're on the Ence roster, you've just been banged out on your first map. A string of bad results, and now you're in a position where you go down so early on to NIP. You've got to see how that can be negative for the mindset.
Well, at least they've got that AWP out into the hands of Alu, as you pointed out. I was just counting up the maps played in 2020 for Alu on Train. He's only gone negative 3 times out of the 28 times Ence have played Train this year. He has been such a consistent force for them on this map. And I think Alu is going to be the key to Train for Ence if they can get going in this one. Ooh, dangerous game being played on the ladder, but Rez gets away with his life. They know exactly where he is now. The Finns have certainly spotted him. The Ence are all starting to group up towards B, just as NIP rotate a second player over to this B bomb site.
Well, gap at the bottom of the right side of the smoke, and Nok, oh, he'll take the kill. Sergey, the victim of the sniper, and Hampus, he hasn't even been checked yet. He hasn't needed to be called in the action, and now he will. 2 kills collected for Hampus, and that looks like it could be the round. It's just Sunny left in a 1v4, and he could win this as he's collected 2. He should be aware of that heaven possibility as well in the brown holes. He has got his back turned to it, which gives me a little bit of anxiety there, but he needs to be careful. He's still not aware. Rez towards heaven, the tap. He pulls him into the open. He gets the right read. Sunny does have an idea of how to play that one, but Rez with the headshot. 5-0. NIP win the round. This was nice.
Hampus, yeah, just getting onto the bomb site, playing that close angle on the bomb train. Sometimes that can go overlooked. You see teams forget about that position fairly frequently. Hampus makes the most of it. 8 kills on the board for Hampus. He's been having a much better performance here today. I pointed out yesterday he was the lowest rated player on this NIP team. That has completely changed coming into today. He's been getting a bunch of kills on the board. And Ence are now 5-0 down with another round where they have to go for more of a save in this one. I mean, we know that Train is generally a more CT-sided map, but at some point, you've got to start winning some T rounds.
Yeah, you need to start getting some rounds under your belt. That's what I was saying in the last. You know, if you're in this situation where not only have you lost the first map, but you've committed to the second one with a negative mindset, you need to get off to a good start. You don't need to be winning the rounds. You don't need to be in the lead, at least out of the T-sided trend. It can be very difficult, but you at least have to show some sort of competitiveness, right? The rounds have been almost completely shut out. We've had chances, obviously, like Sunny in that 1v4, for example. He gets a couple of kills and makes it look close, but you have to remember it was a 1v4 to start with. NIP won every single one of those opening duels. And so Ence have been in a rough spot, especially here in round number 6. They don't exactly have the best weapons. They've got to go Leo in the hands of Ariel. The rest are on pistols. And what can Ence really hope to do here? That flash bounced for a long time, and Rez looks away from it. Sergey drops, takes the kill, and they've got an opening.
Oh, make that a second opening. X7 lands a shot. Finally, Twist fires back. The secondary AWP having to back off behind the smoke, but Hampus is up close again. He's going to deny the bomb again. Hampus in the right place at the right time to cause all sorts of issues, and oh, it's just gone horribly wrong for Ence. Hampus cleans up with 2 kills at the end there. He has just been playing so well at the start of Train, and even when Ence make a round close with the pistols, NIP stay on top.
(6-0) Ence. This is the right time to call for a pause. That was their opportunity, but now they have got a buy coming back again, and they just have to win this next one, Alex. They just have to. Otherwise, 7-0 up for NIP. The money back down to half buy scenario again from Ence. That should be another round for NIP. They just keep taking it up, right? You're going to see that scoreline starting to build to a ridiculous level. So Ence calling the attack pause, trying to figure out what approach they can bring to this T-side round. The problem I see is there hasn't really been an evident weakness for NIP to exploit. There just hasn't really been something Ence can pick apart or try and work on. They have had a little bit of inner sight success in terms of getting the bomb down, so maybe that's something they can try, but Hampers has been so good in that spot, so it's a difficult one for Ence. They're going to be going down into the default.
Definitely not a bad idea. Heading into round number 7. Go for the default at the start. Maybe see if Alu can get a pick to open up the round. We've seen Twist land a couple of shots at Ivy, but he hasn't been tested too often. That run boost, I believe, was spotted by the CT AWPer. No early fights as of yet, though, and after Ence show a little bit of presence towards A, some of their other players are going back towards B, currently with the bomb in hand as well. So we might see this B site tested once again, Dinko. Ence still remain undecided here. They've still got plenty of nades, plenty of time left. They're just clearing out all these positions and trying to make life difficult for NIP.
.37 seconds now on this clock. NIP with a double op setup will be looking to lock this one down as Ence gather at the B bomb site. The rotation coming in from Nock. He's trying to get there quick enough, but the smoke is up, and now it's Hampus. He's the only player here, so Ence will be getting that bomb down at least into this round. At a minimum, the bomb will get planted. And now they have a chance to win it. It's going to be a 5v5 retake. NIP yet to find a kill. No one finding a kill on the server just yet. And now X7 looks to change that moving forward. Finally, with first blood into this round. And the bomb is ticking away. NIP, I did say I sensed a slight possibility towards that inner sight. And especially how they approached the defense in that last round, or in this specific round. That does allow Ence just to kind of walk into the site. They get the bomb down. They finish on that B bomb site. NIP have to save.
Strange rotations as well from NIP. They had Plopsky pushed into A main, pushed into T main. And then they decided to rotate 4 players over to that A site anyway. I don't know what they saw over at A that made them stick with so many players there, but unfortunately, that means that the bomb gets planted in the 5v5, and as soon as you lose that first fight, you've got to save, because the money for NIP is actually not that good. even though they have been winning rounds so far, they had to save those guns to keep the buy together into this one. That's what that double AWP setup can do for you. Very expensive to keep those AWPs going, so the save call, definitely the correct one. And for Ence, they will be happy to get their first round on the board, but we need to see more where that came from. Oh, the push through B. Hampus. Oh, he's been caught.
Yeah, this B hold has been a little interesting over the last couple of rounds from NIP. It's been a bit of a polar opposite approach in the 2 rounds. The last round, they had no one actually in the site, and this time they pushed all the way through the brown holes.
Well, with that man advantage, Ence have decided to stack themselves towards the brown holes. Smoke going down towards upper. No gap this time. So Nork with the AWP doesn't have the clear line of sight he would have wanted. Puts the smoke back into ramp instead. And that should slow Ence down a little bit longer. Nork is still solo holding this B site though. So he would absolutely have to land some shots here to give Nip a chance.
Well, Nork holding on. Aerial goes down. And now the cross in towards the site. Knock nearly there for the shot. So okay, throws the utility up. Bomb planted. 4v4. Another chance for Ence to win around. Back to back. Something they haven't been able to do for a very long time. Sergey burning as he goes up the ladder, but it's X7 with yet another kill. Sergey falls victim to the sniper of Twist at long range, and Rez and Plopsky have taken 2 kills away. It's all on Sunny, and he goes down as well. Just so quick. NIP with a 7th round. Yet again, these retakes are made to look easy.
It's the issue with that B site on Train. The post plants are oftentimes pretty difficult to play from the T side. There aren't that many positions you can play from. That was the opening kill from Sergey. Well taken, but Nork makes sure to just land 1 shot and then play it safe. Buy time for the rotate over. Nip end up getting that flank going, getting the round win. At least Ence can still buy, but they are 7-1 down now, and if this is set to continue, they could be crashing out of this tournament. Sunny, though, getting aggressive early, but having second thoughts of it. After moving out to Olof, he decides he's not safe in that position. He falls back, and Ence is going to take another slow start to the round.
Money is in a weird spot for both teams right now, of course. This is what we like to call a swing round, and Plopsky might just provide Alu with the opening kill. Alu will take that every single day of the week. Thank you very much for that. Now Ence have a man advantage to play with. Where did they go with this? In the A bomb site, the pressure will come through, and Nork will not miss those. He does miss that second shot. Very difficult to hit nonetheless. Sergey and Ariel pulling kills back between them. Hampus and Twist now trying their best to recover the round for NIP. There's some of these rounds where it's looked like they're completely down and out, but they somehow recover time and time again. So Ence, they need to give them the respect that they require in this 2 versus 3. Twist with the AWP. Oh, Alu, big swing. The headshot connects as well. And now it is just Hampus. 13-4 has been so good so far on trade. He's had a couple of moments where you're scratching your head at some of the pushes, but other than that, he has not really put a foot wrong, and now he's looking with his clutch, but the time is ticking now. It looks like it's done. Alu, what a round from him. Another kill comes through with 3 on the board. That's a fantastic round from Alu.
Definitely more like it from him. Getting a couple of important kills in there as well. Once it goes into the post plant, having to land those shots, making sure that Ence remain in control of the round. And finally, Nip's back balance has been broken. They can't get that much in this round. Rez has got a 5-7. Hampus has a Zeus. So this should be an easier round for Ence, and some much needed easier rounds for Ence. I think breaking that economy was going to be important just to get enough T rounds on the board. Hampus is getting a bit sneaky here, though. Sergey hasn't spotted him yet. Hampus could go flying up the ladder any second. Oh, now they've spotted him, though. Nice kill from Sergey. Good awareness that there could be a player up close. We won't get any Zeus shenanigans yet.
Look at that rotation from NIP. They think it's going to be the B hit. They gamble over here. It's their own call. And Ence are going to be heading in towards this A bomb site, walking up. They'll find themselves a lovely third round added to the tally. Sunny eclipsing Twist. So a third round for Ence. I feel like they need, usually we would say 5 rounds you're comfortable on the T side. I don't think that's the case right now. I feel like they're going to need 6 to be comfortable at a minimum, Alex. I don't know what you think about this, but I feel like right now with the way things have gone across these 2 series and the fact that Ence have shown that they can just lose on the CT side even though they have man advantages, I feel like 6 rounds is needed, if not more.
I think the main thing is you don't want to leave it in a position where you're just relying on winning the pistol in the second half. I think that's just the first aim for Ence. Because once they get those gun rounds on the CT side, I think they will be much more confident. You can take a look at their game yesterday as well, because this is the one map that Ence did win yesterday against North. In that one, they got 70 rounds from their first half, and then they closed it out with a 16-12 win, in part thanks to winning that second half pistol round. So I think that sort of area would obviously be ideal for Ence, but that might not be that easy. The main damage onto Rez early, though, is definitely going to be a nice start to this round. Rez down to 32 health. Hampers again playing as this solo B-site anchor for the time being. Ence not putting too many players towards this position, though. You can see the Finns are actually watching for any early aggression, as Hampers did make that aggressive play previously. But eventually Ence will realize Hampers isn't going for the aggressive play, and Nork's AWP has rotated over to B here. So as Ence start to line up this push, they've got to be aware that there are 2 CTs here, and now Nip are getting information. Depending on the timing, they might be able to rotate a 3rd player over to B.
$50 seconds now in play with Ence gathering outside of the B bomb site. Look at the haul from NIP. They've got 3 players now, 4th coming over here. They know this is the attack from Ence towards the site. They haven't even gone yet. This could get even worse for Ence. Look at the flank coming from Plopsky. Oh no, this is horrible for the Finnish side. They're gonna get absolutely destroyed. Hampus and Rez taking them down. That round was so well telegraphed to in NIP. They got the memo about 10 years early. They know exactly what was happening. NIP were completely ready. Hit 3 on the board. Ence just don't even get anywhere near the site.
I mean, the round was won so quickly that poor Plopsky didn't even get to upgrade his MP9. That's how quick these kills were on the hold. Not going to matter too much. I think Nip will be very happy that they got that read right. And they didn't have that much information on A. They had Twist, who pushed up towards Ivy for a split second, who just spotted a little bit of information, but that looked more just like a soul read from NIP. I don't think they pushed that much out towards A, but they just started rotating players over. They knew exactly what was coming. And I think Ence have been fairly straightforward with their plays so far. We haven't really seen a full-on fake from them, Dinko. So maybe that's part of why they were willing to rotate. But Nork blinded early. Now Hampus has to hold alongside Nork on the bomb site. Nork finally falls. Going back for that peak may have been a bit too overzealous. And now a second player falls on this B site.
Well, Sunny with a headshot. That is enough to secure the trade kill. And the bomb plant coming through for Ence. They've got a chance to win a round, to reply after their loss in the previous. Sunny playing behind the yellow bomb train. And now he's got himself a push from Rez that's going to come over the top. Oh no. NIP have done it again. They've pulled this round back, and it's just Ali left alone. Missed shot. That might just cost him, but he gets a second chance. And now through the smoke, looking, he gets the second kill. He gets that shot off. But the round will be won nonetheless by Twist, who gets immediately on the defuse. But Alu hitting some 6 shots is just not enough, unfortunately.
It does kind of feel like a similar story to that first map, right, Dinko? Look at the scoreboard. Alu's at the top. He's having a pretty good game. X7's doing all right. It's just some of those other players for Ence. Sunny was brought into this team for more firepower, but he's not been delivering it. Sergey has been way quieter than expected. As you said, Alu landing some really good shots, but he's left in a 1v3 with the AWP. You need a miracle at that point to win the round.
I have no idea how Ence have actually performed the way they have over the past couple of months. It just shows how you can be great individual players, but it's all about how you're used. And if you have a leader that can put you in those correct spots, Ents lack that by far. They just don't have anybody to put them in a position where they can perform. And you can see Sergey has dropped off massively. He's actually the bottom rated player, joined by Ariel at a 0.91 rating of the last 3 months. And Alu, he is their top rated player, and he's showing up on the server today, getting some very important kills. But the rest of the team are lacking firepower completely. If you're Ents, do you go on the hunt for an international in-game leader? Because right now, you know, they have so many good pieces. They have potential to be a great roster. They are such good individuals, but they're just not being used correctly. And that push from Hampus, that catches out Sergey. And now the only option for Ents is that 3-man push through Ivy. And there's currently 3 players in the A bomb site, and Twist waiting for this Ivy push.
Molly down, but one player's already passed. It's X7 with an excellent entry onto the A bomb site, and now his teammates can follow him up. Nort, I think, landed that shot, but it barely did any damage onto Sunny. Molly goes down again, though. 22 seconds left on the clock. Hampus boosted up, but Twist has been taken out on the bomb site. So Hampus may have to be the man to deliver here. Up on the boost. This could be an unexpected position. Sunny's on top of the train. Sunny finally spots him. 8 seconds on the clock. Nork, can he fire under the train? I don't think so. Bomb will be planted. It's another 1v3. This time for Nork with the AWP. Doesn't know quite how low all the players are, though.
The money.
Oh, he's going to back away. He has to.
Yeah. The money is in a real bad spot here for NIP. He has to carry this AWP into the next round, and I have to say, although across the board, Alu gets the 2 kills and Sunny finds 1, the most important kill there for me is that X7 peak coming out of the Ivy spot. As soon as he takes down that Heaven player, that weakens the defense completely on their A site. NIP have to really figure out what's going on. And Ents, it all goes right for them. Finally, something going right for Ents. 4 rounds added to the scoreboard. 9-4. Money is in the bin for NIP. And then AWP for Nok at least saved over. That's something to play with. But like we were saying in the previous round, Alu is hitting some really nice shots.
There's a reason this is his map, it feels like. I mean, that 1.31 rating I was talking about, that's so impressive on a team that haven't generally been winning that often, right? That's a really impressive rating to have on one specific map. Definitely a big part of why Ents have been able to get some rounds on the board here. And now Nip go for the full-on force buy off the back of the one saved gun, but the rest of them have pistols. And if they lose this, they could end up losing 6 rounds from this first half. So Ents could be back into this one, but they need to make sure they don't fall to the pistols, and Ariel is doing just that. 2 important kills onto the A-bomb site. There are still more players here, though, and they're not ready for the AWP of Nork. Now Ents might slow down slightly.
Nork is on the bomb site. Ents have slowed it down a good bit. They know they still have the huge advantage to Nork. Dangerous, but he gets across towards Connector. He's still alive, barely. 34 HP. He did take quite a bit of damage on that cross. Hampus trying his best to find something here, but no one from Ents is going to present themselves. It will be a 5th round for Ents. And they have that opportunity now, and a prime opportunity, in fact, to get the 6 rounds you were talking about.
Absolutely. And I think 6 rounds, like you said, should probably be good enough for Ents. I think they'll actually be happy with that, especially considering how this game started. Just to grind out that many round wins, to put yourselves in a good enough position would be nice. Speaking of nice, shot from Hampus lands. He might get to save a second AWP, which would be big. Unfortunately, Hampus falls, but Nork just about manages to land that close-range shot. There's another player pushing behind him, though. Sunny with the Glock in hand. Oh, no. 1 shot is all that's needed. NIP don't get to save anything into the last round of the half, and that means they're going to be broke, Dinko.
Completely broke. Best chance scenario for Ents to grab 6 rounds. The favorites of this one. It hasn't been the cleanest of performances from Ence overall here, but nonetheless, it has been enough towards the end. A good individual step up from Alu, a couple of rounds there from X7, where he's found some very important kills. Again, though, Sergey on 4 frags out of this T side. Hopefully, he can show up into the second. You get 6 rounds. That's a lot to play with going into the CT side. Ariel. That nade has chunked him down to 54. He's also taking damage from the Deagle, but Alu just swings around, saves his teammate, at least for the time being, as Plopsky hunting down the open with the CZ, and Alu pulls the Deagle. Elsewhere, X7 has taken down Twist, and we've got ourselves a 4 versus 2. A 2-man advantage in favor of Ence. And this should be a 6th round locked in, as long as they don't make any mistakes. Or monumental ones at that.
Yeah, and they've realized the B site is open. Sergey's been able to take all this ground away from NIP, so the CTs are well out of position at this point. Sergey's pushed all the way into the back lines, and Hampus isn't ready for it. Only 0 remaining, and it's almost inevitable that Ence will be getting 6 rounds at the half. Really important rounds at the end of this half as well, Dinko. They've kept themselves in this game.
Yeah, they definitely have. Nock, a nice quick shot, but at this point, it's just a matter of time before we lock that 6th round in for Ence. Nox stuck outside of connector right now. Taking his time, adding a couple of stats to the statistics right now, but I don't see this going any other way. He's going to throw the smoke down. No kit. Alu secures it. A good half from Alu. He saves the day for Ence. They'll be pretty happy with 6 rounds at the half, but it's time for a short break. We'll see if they can continue. We'll see if 6 rounds is enough as they go into the second. NIP versus Ence in the second half. NIP lead by 3, but Ence managed to scrap together what is a respectable enough half. And I feel like most of the damage was done off the back of Alu. 15 and 10. He's had a pretty good showing. Sergey, a mere 5 kills alongside Ariel going into the second half. They'll be looking to try and step up on an individual level. I don't feel like it's going to be enough just to have Alu popping off.
Sergey taking some information at B at the start of this one. Alu is playing that rotator role, trying to make sure he can have impact on either side of the map, but Sergey spotted them out early. That will call for the rotation. Alu going over to help, and with Ariel pushed into A main, this is some really good information for Ence. They should be pretty well prepared for this B play.
Yeah, they should be ready for this. Sergey with the headshot starts things off well with not going down, and Sergey changes his position up, spots the players crossing. That's the bomb. Sergey has done well to do all of this work, and he wants more. He's not done. Killing is his job right now, and Alu's going to step up with a double kill. Sergey finally take it off the server. Then it's Rez caught in the open. Bullets flying all over the place. 7 rounds for Ence, and that's a better round from them. That's a good pistol round picked up. And NIP, well, they don't get the bomb down. They don't get any kind of cash injected into the bank, but they're still going to go with the AK.
Yeah, I love that Sergey goes for that peek into upper B, because you need to get that early information. You don't want to just let that bomb get planted on B too easily. Now, Alu's stuck with the USP, Dinko. Against this buy, that's scary. The rest of the players do have guns, but hopefully Alu can just stay in the back lines and support his teammates in this one. Maybe he's got a chance to pick up a gun as well if some early trades go down. But clearly Ence not fully expecting the force buy in this one.
Well, Sunny burning away Hampers. That's a good start to this one for Ence. And looking for the follow-up, Sunny is going to do that. Plopsky going down. A fantastic start, but just a little too much there from Sunny. Caught in the open. Twist. Blasting his head off. And now with a 4v3. It's a huge advantage for Ence right now. Especially with the weapons, but doesn't really matter. Because NIP have started to pull it back. They're giving them fights. Ence are walking into their crosshairs.
Oh, no. Rez gets a kill onto the B-bomb site. Sergey is that anchor taken out of the round. And all of a sudden, the bomb is going to try and come back to B. Oh, push up ladder. It's not good. It's not well timed. Nort gets another free kill. It's all gone horribly wrong for them, Dinko. X7 is the last man standing. And Ence are going to be kicking themselves. It looks like they're going to lose this round.
They give so many opportunities to NIP in this round. Just that A bomb site hold, Ence all they need to do. They had a huge advantage. But they just kept giving the chances away. They could have sat back in the site. They had the weapons to play at long range. They had everything going for them. But they just provide the Deagle, Twist, 2 easy kills from T-Con. Obviously, Rez makes that solo play and just wins the duel on the B-bomb site. But yeah, that's deadly from NIP and Ence. They can't afford to drop any rounds, Alex. Coming into this, they can't afford to lose these kind of rounds. They win the pistol round, they give themselves the best chance, but they walked right into the Deagles. They went up the ladder to the Deagles. There's nothing that you can really look at and say that's a good idea. And unfortunately, that does mean Ence are back down to a lower tier buy. They do have that one AK-47. X7 managed to save over. But this round is still looking good for NIP. And this is a chance for them to get off to a pretty good start on their T side.
Yeah, that round could be a real turning point in this game, in this series, perhaps. Sunny gets the first. X7 helps him out. Oh, Sunny unable to get back to safety, though. Good trades from Nork. Fights are just happening all over the place, Dinko. It's all action at the start of this round, but it's Ence who have won the early trades. They take the man advantage, and maybe they can bounce right back.
Hampus with a kill onto Ariel. A 2 versus 2, a chance for Ence, like you said, to claw this one back, to rectify mistakes made in the previous round. And NIP would certainly not like to drop the ball here. They've been given a prime opportunity on the T side of their opponent's map pick to prevent Ence from coming back into things. But a slower round is eerily quiet right now as NIP cross through the back lines. There's a close player, and that's Sergey. He will fall. It's all at X7, the stand-in for the team. He's looking to try and win another round for them. He'll walk onto the bomb site. Hampus around the back of the site. He has been spotted. X7, his position given away. And Nok will stand in Ivy. A good crossfire in the hands of NIP at the moment. And this might just be the round in their hands as well. X7 will have to slither away surely at this point, and the headshot straight through the eyes. It's 11 rounds for NIP, and Nok saving the day with a 3K.
It's Nok and Hampus, the two players that really have stepped up for NIP on this map, who carry them through in this one as well. Hampus getting a couple of kills there, couple of 1v1 fights after they were a man down. And that's what makes the difference. And now Ence have to take the save. They have to likely concede a 12-7 deficit. And that starts to get into very uncomfortable territory for them. They've given up the B site entirely as well. They tried to stack towards A. They guessed wrong this time round. So it is going to be another easy round for NIP. And this is where the pressure really is going to start to mount for Ence. This upcoming gun round is going to be so decisive for them. It's one they basically have to win to try and keep themselves in the tournament. And that is a lot of pressure on this next gun round.
Like you said, Alex, and just want to reiterate your point. This is the Group D elimination match. If they lose this one, they're out of the tournament, they're out of contention. And another group stage exit for Ence. NIP have slowly been getting better. I mean, we've only seen them across a couple of maps so far, and they lost 2-0 to Sprout. But I think a couple of their problems yesterday have looked better coming into today. There was an underperformance from Hampus yesterday. Certainly not the case in the server right now, 20-12. NIP looked a little disjointed yesterday. But today, more honed in across the board. We're now 4 rounds away from victory on their opponent's map pick. And like you said, a lot of pressure on this gun round for Ence. They have to win this round. Otherwise, NIP will be up 13-7. The money will be gone for Ence. And it's likely 14 rounds then at that point for NIP. So a lot of pressure on this round for the Finnish side.
No AWP for Alu. No kit for Ence either. That AWP for Alu especially could be a big missing piece here. He's been landing some excellent shots on this map. He's going to have to do it with the rifle this time round. Aerial has been able to push into Pop Dog. Nade does a bit of damage. In fact, a lot of damage done onto Aerial. He got forced back into a second nade there. So he's down to 11 health, almost taken out of the round entirely. And Aerial decides to fall back. Sergey still solo on that B site, but NIP remain undecided here. Just under a minute left on the clock. And they're still figuring out exactly what the end goal is.
Three players from Ence. They're about to walk into the brown holes here. Hampus. Kill on the Sergey. Oh, the timing. He switches out to his knife. And while Sergey given a kill, and he'll flee the scene as well. Horrible there for Hampus. NIP, that was almost surely an opening. I feel like even if Sergey somehow gets that kill onto Hampus, he's immediately traded. They don't get a single kill down. Sunny now holding his plate through the upper part of the site. Sunny with the first Alu getting the double kill. A good round from Ence. Could have went either way at the start there, but those decisive duels go in favor of the Finns. And now it is Twist saving his AK-47. Ence will win the round. And that's 12-8. They win the very important gun round, like we said. And they don't just win it, Alex, but they win it with 4 players staying alive. That's exactly what they needed to do for the health of their economy.
Hampus there, quick switching. Costs his teammate his life, realistically. Because if he doesn't switch, he gets that kill. and Rez doesn't need to try and take that fight. So that's a real shame for them, but Ence will take that all day long. Good decision to stack the right side, to stack so many players towards B, but they've still got to deal with this next buy from Nip. Nade damage early done onto Sunny. 4 CTs on the A site to begin with, as is so often the case on Train. You've got to try and deny any early aggression that might come at you. Now the CT's putting a smoke down to deny that. Just quickly, Dinko, looking at the RMR rankings as well, both of these teams currently in the top 8, currently doing really well on the points. But if you go out in last place here, it's almost guaranteed some of those lower teams are going to leapfrog you. North have already almost overtook both of these teams. There are other squads who are right behind them. So whoever loses here is going to have a much harder time qualifying, and that is such a big deal for both of these squads. Aerial gets that opener. Good start to the round.
Yeah, Aerial taking down Hampus, a bad advantage in play for Ence. Like you said, a fantastic start to the round for the Finns. And so much control of the map is theirs as well. You can see Aerial pushed up all the way through T-Con. Wisto has managed to get himself out Ivy. No one has eyes on this right now. Eventually they will. Keep an eye on this flank from Sunny. He's starting to come through. You have to move forward eventually. Now the duel in towards the site. They know there's a player coming out Ivy. Now Rez pops into the open. No swing from Sunny. He's still just hiding back in the back lines, allowing his teammates to take the fights. And Aerial, he'll get one before going down. And now finally Sunny striking into action. He'll get the kill on Rez, but it's Knock and Twist in the 2 versus 3 with the bomb having to get planted. Twist has a task of holding on, and he's done that fantastically. Knock with another. Now 1v1, and Twist will get 2 in the round. 13 to 8 on the board. NIP flipped that round around. And I have to say, Twist getting out Ivy is the most important play there. Not only does he get 2 kills in the round, but he also draws the attention away from the bomb site player that allows Rez to come out of Pop Dog and take that kill onto the bomb site.
NIP and Ence just going blow for blow in that round. But like you said, Twist is the man that makes the difference. For someone who oftentimes is one of the quieter players on this NIP team, oftentimes someone who's not put in roles to get those kills on this NIP team, Twist has done a great job there at getting his team another round and putting them in a position where if they win this one, they're in such good shape. Ence have already got some weaknesses in their buy in this very round. Pressure is on for the Finns to win this one. Alu has the AWP. They have a couple of rifles in the mix as well. They still have chances to make something happen in this one. They still have every chance to win this round, and Alu trying to make something happen. The first fight successful, but the second shot missed. Twist is able to trade.
Well, Twist with the kill. Now it is a 4v4. Plopsky with a headshot. Aerial will hit the deck, and now Plopsky continues to walk forward. Knock with the frag onto X7. Sergey also going down. Sunny just left alone. Plopsky will be the victim of the M4, but Sunny is just in a position he cannot win now. A 1v3 peeks out to the left side, and it's the kill that secures a 14th round for MIP. It really feels like the chances of Ence being able to even compete now on Train are gone. NIP have just looked better. And you said it coming into this series, right? You said there was a real chance that NIP could also not only compete on the first map, but they could compete on the map pick events. And they have shown that throughout, Alex. Now ahead, and it's not really even that close.
And that's even with Alu being the joint top fragger right now. Alu showed up like we said he would. It's been the rest of the team that haven't been able to join him. Hampus, 2 kills up close. Excellent adjustment onto that second man. Aerial's won 1 fight with the USP, but the AK won't be in his hands for long. The trades continue. Sergey in the back could get a freebie, but he's got to get more, and Plopsky's able to turn it round. 15 for NIP. Just 1 more round needed for them to knock Ence out in Group D.
$15 to 8 rounds. NIP have been dominant on their opponent's map pick. This series has been very one-sided. Ence looking down the barrel of yet another group stage exit as the bottom team. And how horrible that would be. Rez with the headshot. Sergey falls victim to the rifle. Alu successful in finding the kill onto Hampus. Now he's going to go back for more, trying to be the hero, trying to deliver, and he's got 3. He really has been the shining light for this Ence team. He's consistently performed. And now Rez and Twist, they look to follow suit with the rest of their fallen teammates. Ence are not done yet. It will not be victory for NIP in this round unless Twist can pull off a 1 versus 3. He has got that bomb on his back. That is the one saving grace right now. I have just spotted him on the cross. There's a player in CT on the stairs as well. X7 with the AWP just holding on, and he's got it. Secures the round for Ence. 9 rounds locked in. And again, they're not done. And the money is in a bit of a peculiar scenario for NIP.
Great kills from Alu, getting 2 on Ivy before that earlier kill previously. And as you said, the money for NIP all over the place. Nork can buy an AWP. The rest of the team can basically buy nothing. I mean, Nork has been very good in this game, but a hero AWP to win you the round? I don't know, man. It feels unlikely. Sergey nearly gives him the fight. Plopsky's also up close with the Glock, and Plopsky's the man who's spotted first. Good kill from Sergey. He'll fall back happily, having given his team the advantage.
Alu. AWP at the ready. NIP about to explode into the B bomb site, and Alu is going to be holding on. The missed shot coming through though, and that is going to allow NIP to cross to the bomb site. Knock with a kill onto the AWP from Ence. And these Glocks? No way NIP close it like this. Surely not. They have sunk their teeth deep into the bomb site, but Ence still favored in the retake. It's Sunny with the first on the Twist. Rez picked off as well. And now it is just Hampus. 1 versus 4 with a Glock in his hands. And a bomb plant and a kill. That's definitely more than happy enough for NIP. That'll be a 10th round for Ence. Though they grab double figures.
Starting to tighten up now between these two teams, and that extra $800 across the board definitely making the difference. Like you said, NIP will be really happy with that. Now they can get AKs in this round. Now they can get full nades on most of their players. And again, just going back to those RMR points, Dinko, it would be such a big deal if one of these teams could make the major, right? You've been having that rough patch of form recently, but that's the kind of thing that can maybe reinvigorate your team. That's something that you can look forward to, that you can say, okay, we're going to have this tournament to try and get us back on track. So winning this game for either of these two organizations is so important right now. You don't want to go out in last place. You don't want to lose that lead you have in those points. This gun round is a good way to do it. Alu jumping up. I love that peek from him. Opening kill found onto Plopsky. Alu is really trying to do everything he can to bring Ence back into this game.
Yeah, he looks at the scoreboard. He sees himself doing everything. He's like, okay, you know, if that's all we've got, let's work with it. And Ence given an opening kill again by the Finnish sniper. Under a minute in play for NIP to work their way back into this round. They are a mere round away from victory on train. But if you look at the money, they lose this round, they will once again be back to another lower tier buy, which should secure a couple more rounds for Ence and potentially a few more steps in the direction of overtime. But NIP turn their attentions back towards the A side.
Oh, good kill from Ariel, pushed into Pop Dog. Nork finally finding something for NIP, but I think it might be too little too late. Nork is going to fall at the end. Alu with another triple kill. He's been finding multi-kills all over the place in this second half, all over the map. I think that's now 8 multi-kills he's had in this game, the most out of anyone on either team. And it puts NIP back into a position where they really can't invest that much. Maybe a couple of pistols. They're not even going for that right now. Finally buying up a couple of pistols, but that's all they're getting, Dinko. It should be another round for Ence. and it should be tightening up that scoreline even closer.
Well, Ents currently have 3 players on this A-bomb site. Two in towards B. And NIP will be looking for this inner hit success. They don't have any utility, not a single smoke. So getting down in towards this site will be extremely difficult, if not impossible.
You are basically just relying on some good timing at this point. Maybe someone looks away just as you push as a 5-man unit, or maybe you get a kill from Rez. That could help them in. Oh no, Sergey doesn't get a single kill. Surely this can't happen, Dinko.
Not like this, surely not. NIP running them down with the pistols. Aerial swinging around the backside of the site. Sunny and X7, they look like they've recovered it, but it's Rez, a 1 versus 2. He's already delivered 2 deadly deags, and he has to do it again. NIP looking to close it with Rez on the deagle, but Sunny with a headshot. 3 recovered in the round. Thank God for that. If Ence had lost in that fashion, if they'd been eliminated from this tournament in that fashion, that would have just summarized everything.
It really would have. Yeah, really awkward spray from Sergey, not getting a single kill there. Thankfully, Ence are able to save it, but that means that NIP, with the bomb plant, have even more money. They can definitely get that AWP. They can get the full nades. They can get everything they want into this round. Still 3 more chances for NIP to win this in regulation. And they've got full nades in this one. Early utility being used into the A-bomb site. Nork has really been a great storyline in this tournament for NIP, right? Coming back from his break, he's been on fire. He's been in great form for this team. Hampus has been able to bounce back on this map as well. We need to see them win 1 more round to knock Ence out and to stay in this game. Otherwise, we could be going to a 3rd map.
Cool. You look down the line for these 2 teams in their recent matches. It's not a pretty sight. It's a sea of red in terms of losses, but something Ents have had consistently as map wins, at least in their best of 3 losses. So we know how they can play Train. This is a map they can pick up consistently, but it's Plopsky with a good opening kill. He has been quiet, but he's shut down by the itchy grenade of Alu. And now the play through IVX7, given 2 kills. Twist and Hampus both falling. And now it's Nock and Rez looking to try and recover a round for NIP. Oh, they are throwing this one away. They are choking this hard. And Ents, they're coming back into things.
Rez trying to make some moves. Sergey is going to be taken out of the round, but he did some damage onto Rez, who goes for further fights. Rez wants to make this happen all by himself, but he misses those shots. And now Nork is stuck on the site itself in a 1 versus 3. He knows there's a man on top of this train, or at least he's looking this direction. Almost hits that first flick, but now they know exactly where he is. They pinpointed his specific position, and that's going to cost him. X7 lands the shot. Ence come 1 round closer to overtime. But with the bomb plant, do NIP have enough money to buy? Do they want to buy? Or do they want to save for the last round? There are some decisions to be made here, but with their money being that good, I don't think there's any questions, Dinko. I think you just go for the buy.
X7 has also been very impressive. And just a reminder to everybody, X7 has come into this team from Havu, right? He's the player that's been switched out. They've brought Yampi in, and X7's been out in the wilderness playing for Havu. And he is the only other player, apart from Alu, on this team currently playing that has over a 1.0 HLTV rating over the last 3 months. And he's having a lot of impact right now. You have to remember back a couple of the rounds early on in Overpass, it was X7. He's 21 kills on the board. Sunny has obviously had a huge resurgence in the second half, 22 and 16. And Alu leading the way, 28 kills to his name. And that's exactly what you need. You need 3 players showing up. And this is more like it for Ence. At least the players taking a lot of kills, taking liberties. There's now NIP, another buyout. Alex, we question whether or not they'd have it, and they do.
And they have the buy, minus the AWP for Nork. There is a bit of money in Rez's back pocket, though, which maybe could get him an AWP in the last round, if we even need that. Nip will obviously be hoping they can just win right here and now. Molly forces Hampus away. Sunny almost had the angle. Oh, a second Molly into that position. A nade to follow. Hampus not taking damage, though. He's able to stick there. That's a team flash. Sunny completely blinded, and it costs him his life.
Well, man advantage again in play for NIP. They had it in the previous round, but it was short-lived. As Ali was able to find the reply with the HE grenade, and not Aerial. He knows there's a lot at stake right now for Ence, so he's gone and taken T-Con control. That's some information, and at least if they even come back towards A, Aerial's able to delay. He'll be able to gather that info. There's a bit of fake utility coming in towards this A bomb site. Instead, NIP heading their way in towards this B site, and currently Ence have 2 players here. A good chance for the hole as Plopsky trying to make the solo play, but he was not ready for that T-Con push from Aerial. And now the attack from NIP back to a 4v4 to head into the B bomb site. The first player goes down without a single kill. That's not good enough from Sergey, and Alu also not finding anything. Ence look like they are done here at Dreamhack Open Fall. It has to be a big recovery from Aerial and X7 in a 2v4. They found one early kill, but still the man advantage sides with NIP. The Swedes look to break their back and eliminate the Finns from the tournament, and that's exactly what they've gone and done. NIP taking the series 2-0, surviving elimination, and sending the Finns back home.
Oh, the team flash, Dinko. The T-flash over in A main. Sunny gets blinded by his teammate at the start of the round. That puts them a man down to begin with. And then Sergey can't get a kill on that B site. He was having some problems there previously, solo holding. He doesn't get the kill again. Well played by NIP, I've got to say. They had some really good step-ups individually. That was the main talking point for us coming into this game. But heartbreak for Ence after making it so close on that second map.
Yeah, unfortunately, another poor placing for Ence coming into this one. That does shape the groups up to look a little scary now. For Group D, it becomes very exciting. And it's one of those groups that have a lot going for it in terms of all the question marks. Pretty much every team, apart from Sprout, has an asterisk. We can take a closer look at how it stands at the moment. NIP up there on top, having played 2 matches. They've got 3 points. Sprout have only played the 1 after beating NIP 2-0 yesterday. North in 3rd place, they beat Ence yesterday as well. So they're all tied on 3 points at the moment. We have another matchup coming a little later on. That'll be over on the A stream where we'll see Sprout and North take each other on. But Ence, they can't make it now. They are out of the tournament in Group D.